the Community Practice Pharmacists Association of Ghana is raising concerns about the alarming rate of armed robberies against its members in parts of the country. The group at a news conference today said their members have been attacked at least 17 times this year alone, with some members facing the ordeal twice. They want the police to provide them some protection. They say they'll be left with no option than to shut the pharmacies if they do not get the protection they need. Let's bring in the president of the national chairman of the association, Dr. Emmanuel K. Ireland there. We're grateful for your time. He's joining us via Zoom. Let's talk about these attacks up to 17 times. With some of your members experiencing it more than twice? Tell us a bit more.
Let me use this opportunity to say good afternoon to your cherished viewers. Yes, in 2021 alone, we've had 17 different, robbery attacks on our pharmacies across the country. The highest being in Greater Accra, and then followed by the Ashanti region. In Greater Accra alone, it constitutes 64%, and that of Ashanti 24%, followed by Central region, Brong-Ahafo, and then Western region. Now, it is so worrying that just last week, one would have thought that due to the pandemic, pharmacists are at the forefront fighting for our country and making sure that our people receive quality, good health care. Only to find out that armed robbers are also planning against us. This colleague of ours, which actually broke a situation that broke the camel's back in the Ashanti region, in the evening around 9 p.m., he was waiting in his car for his staff to close for them to leave, only to find two guys walking into the pharmacy as if they were going to buy or receive some care. And then at gunpoint, they shot, they had a warning shot. All the staff were on the floor. And they did what they had to do, took away all the booty and the money that they wanted. So when they were walking out, they saw this, our colleague in his car, and they shot him in the tummy, and that's in the stomach. And also shot into the four tires of his car to render him, just not being able to pursue them or go for care. But God being so good, he managed, to persevere. He held on, took the car, drove the car to Confanochi, teaching hospital. And that is where he's receiving care. He had surgery, and currently, as I'm talking to you, he's still on admission. The staff up to now, they are in shock. They cannot work. Now, we also have some of our colleagues who have been attacked 5 times in 1 year. 5 times. And it is very, very worrying. One person 5 times, another pharmacy 5 times. So it is so worrying that if we are the forefront, now we have Omicron surging, and at the peril of our lives. When anybody has any disease of common occurrence or any condition in the community, the first port of call is the pharmacy.
Yeah.
And what if that you go there and the place is shut down or nothing is going on in your community? What do you do?
So with that being brought to the fore, we know the situation now as it stands. How then are we hoping to resolve it at this point? What can be done?
Is the reason we are appealing to the law enforcement agencies. We are appealing to the IGP that he should try to instruct his men to come to our aid. Every community pharmacy in Ghana must receive some level of protection, because as it is now, we are afraid for our lives. In any case, most of us are also working 24 hours just because we want to be there for the community. Even they themselves, they come to patronize our services. What if they come and we are not there? So we are appealing to IGP to do something about it. We are also waiting to the MNDCs, the regional and the district security council. They should come together and see how best they can help us.
Okay, but prior to this appeal today, as you're putting out, have there been any such engagement with the law enforcement agencies? And as members, are you taking up your own security as well whilst you wait to engage the Ghana Police Service? Because some would say it's unrealistic for every community pharmacy, for instance, to get police protection. In the interim, is there a measure that you're putting in place?
Yes, we have written to the IGP, we have written to the Interior Minister, we have written to all the MMDCs across the country. And they have also appealed to and encouraged our members to also take their security into their own hands, ensure that they have CCTV cameras, also have some security personnel on the premise, and then also make sure that there is some kind of alarm system that would help to trigger some kind of response. And so yes, we are doing what we can. But you see, these people are very sophisticated. You don't know when they are coming. They do their homework before they come. And what they are even most afraid of is that beyond that, they can also train us or trace us to our homes. Okay, and so it is so worrying that we are not seeing that every community pharmacist will receive police protection. But then we are in the community with them. So they should try and then, keep this patrol. We are raising this because it's a matter of concern. Very soon it will assume a national, already it's a national, we are national in character. We have pharmacists in all the 16 regions in the country. And so obviously it's getting to a national security issue. But then they should come to our aid and make sure that at least even if they are patrolling around now, they know that we are under attack. Yeah. So every pharmacy has become a threat. They should just try and help us as far as our security is concerned.
But have you had any favorable response? I don't know how long ago you've written to the IGP and the MMDCs and the ministers. Have we had any response as yet from them on your request?
Not yet. I must say that we have, in fact, they received that very nicely. When in their offices, even though we didn't meet them themselves, but then we know the IGP, for instance, he delivered a letter in his office to his secretary. So I'm sure by now he knows about what we're talking about.
Okay. Are we giving any timelines in terms of that favorable response? Because I'm hearing that you may be forced to withdraw your services in these areas that the robberies are prone.
Yes, we want to see some action within a week. Because these people are at work throughout this Christmas holidays into the new year. Nobody knows who is going to be next. In fact, we could have lost our colleague. We don't want to sit down and lose another colleague, before we start doing something. As I'm speaking to you, COVID-19 has already claimed the very nicest, farm brains we have in the pharmaceutical society and in the Community Practice Pharmacists Association. We don't want to lose any more through armed robbery.
Okay, hold it there. I would want to pry more into the issue about the COVID-19 claiming the lives of some of your members. But you mentioned that you're hoping to get a response during a week. If that does not happen, what happens?
Yes, our life, as I say, we are afraid for our lives as I'm talking to you. Some are, traumatized, and they are receiving some kind of counseling in one form or the other. They cannot go to work. That place is not operating. What happens to the people in the community when they need pharmaceutical care? And so that is why we are appealing. We are just appealing to the law enforcement agencies to make sure that at least we have some level of security to go about our businesses.
And just quickly before I let you off, Dr. Ireland, you mentioned that apart from robbery, also claiming some of the lives of your members, COVID is also, ravaging your association as well. What's the extent? How serious is it? How many of your members are we looking at?
In the last year alone, I don't have the statistics with me, but I know we've lost a couple, probably about 5 of our very respectable and best brains within the pharmaceutical sector.
Well, we'll leave it here for now. Dr. Ireland will be following up on it a bit more. We're grateful. That's Dr. Emmanuel K. Ireland with the Community Pharmacies Association. They're raising concerns about armed robbery attacks, recent armed robbery attacks, and they're hoping something will be done about the situation soon, else they'll be forced to withdraw their services.